Hey, how are you? Got a video here on building up your team, setting up the machine for success. And my number one, mission here is to help you get some piece of knowledge here, or just even one sentence that can help you change your train of thought about how to build your agency and get you on your path to success, faster, more efficiently. Don't make the same mistakes as I've made. And, it's been proven for me. Some of this stuff has been proven for me, and I've learned it from other successful agencies and owners out there. So hopefully this helps. I think it'll be a good one on how to delegate these roles. So let's dive into it. All right, so as I mentioned, this is more of like a kind of team structure video on how to structure the individual roles in your agency. So I think it's important to say it's just like anything else in being successful in any other team environment, whether it's sports, like, if you're playing soccer, you have a midfield, you have a forward, you have a defense, you have a goalie. Football, you have a quarterback, you have linemen, you have wide receivers. Like, they all have individual roles, and they're usually, it's kind of dumb not to, but you want to put the best possible person in each individual role so that they can make the biggest impact and get you on your path to success. Like, you don't want to have a running back as a quarterback throwing the football, and you don't want, your goalie playing forward trying to score goals. Like, your goalie should be defending. So pretty obvious, but that's another thing. As the agency owner, you must have that emotional intelligence to understand who is the best fit for what position, where do they feel most comfortable, where do they even want to be, because a lot of times where people want to be is where they tend to excel. So you really need to, first of all, vet that, understand that for your people, and be on that kind of ground level, boots on the ground, like understand one-on-one, like, hey, where do you feel most comfortable? Where do you feel like you can make the most impact? And have them, buy into the vision of what you're trying to do and what you're trying to build, and see, where can you make the biggest contribution to the team, and where do I feel, maybe they say they want to be in sales, but they're really meant to be in service. Like, you got to be able to know to pull them over. So first of all, I'll just tell you kind of the different roles that we have in place right now. As I start to build up, there's going to be changes for sure, but right now, just based on the size and the book of business that we have, the revenue that we have, these are the roles we have. So we have a service manager, so handling all service, and also kind of inbound sales. So, handling customers, and also trying to cross-sell them on new products. So rounding out accounts, that's the service or inbound sales. Then we also have outbound sales, where they're generally working only kind of, outbound cold leads or referral partnerships, or purchased leads or generated leads that we make throughout the agency. And those are really kind of that kind of outbound, trying to generate sales. So there's an inbound and then an outbound. Also, we have a marketing manager. So she, and our team member in marketing is only specifically trying to get eyes and attention on the agency to generate more business. So those are kind of the three different positions that we have kind of split up. And obviously there's me, which is my kind of, I'm in a little bit of each one, and I'm really just trying to keep the team together and to be as efficient as we possibly can. So what I'll do is explain to you how I think you can keep those things as efficient as you possibly can. First and foremost, like, you need your team member and whoever is in that seat to understand clearly, like, what is my role and what should I be doing? Like, sales shouldn't really be answering inbound service calls, so your inbound sales and service team should be the one that's doing the inbound sales and service. Understanding clearly what that entails of making payments, mortgage changes, updating renewals, like checking in on renewals, or, rewriting policies, like whatever it might be that happens in that inbound sales, and then what it looks like to do a good job in that and what a good day looks like. Then your outbound sales, what does that entail of? Working new leads, keeping up with the management system, different types of outbound lead generation type business. That's really what and having that clearly listed out. I'm not going to go into each individual role activity that they have, because there is a long list that we go through one-on-one, and we sit there and we go in through and say, do you understand that? Yes. Okay, does that make sense? Is there any questions on that? Perfect. Do you understand? Do you feel clear and comfortable with that? Perfect. Great. So now we're all on board. We're all on the same page. And then finally, like marketing, getting attention, Google reviews, Facebook posting, YouTube posting, like how are you watching this, etc. So making sure each person in that individual role is understanding, clear on those expectations. Now, those three doesn't necessarily mean that you need to do those three as well. Like set up your team the way you want to set it up. If you feel that service is the main focus, like you don't want to do the marketing, you want to just focus on service. If you want to do more sales, only outbound sales and no service, like fine, set it up however you want to set it up. Like there's different team formations out there that work well for other people. That's what I believe works best for us, and I believe is going to bring us the most success in the long run. I don't think it's super traditional to have a marketing person purely marketing in insurance agencies. I just think that with the way the world is, shifting, we're more and more becoming marketing agencies and also an insurance agency. So we'll see in the future. That's just that's me gambling as an owner. And also just understanding the impact. Everybody should really understand that impact that they're making on the team. The more efficiently that each person is working in their role, the more gets done, the more money the business generates, the more everybody's salaries go up, the more opportunities come up for bonuses, et cetera, and the more people we're able to help ultimately. Like that's really what we're here to do as insurance advisors, is to help more people and to make a bigger impact on the world. Like these videos, my marketing manager, like the fact that it's reaching somebody, and maybe you're hearing this and it's helping you with your setting up your agency. That's powerful. Like what you're doing behind your work is meaningful. It's not just you're just doing this crunching numbers, et cetera. Like, hey, like you're actually making an impact on the world. So the contributions, understanding the vision, making sure everybody's on board, and then having those, trainings and those one-on-ones to make sure that everybody is feeling comfortable. You want everybody to feel comfortable and confident in what they're doing, and also checking in, like, are you liking your position, or is there anything you're unclear about? Having those one-on-one check-ins. So if you're watching this and you're kind of still like a one-man show or a one or two-man show and you're really trying to get it off the ground, my number one piece of advice for you is to anything that you can delegate, that somebody can do as well as you can, like, and not necessarily always as well as you. Maybe you do a little bit better, but somebody can do it at 80% or 90% of what you can do. Let's just say it's service or sales or marketing. You should 100% hand that off. And that empowers somebody as well to say, okay, this is my own, I own this position and I own this role, and this is my contribution to this machine that is working in sync to go to the next level. So don't keep your hands on the pot trying to control and micromanage their role. Like hand off as much as you possibly can. It's kind of like they say, divide and conquer. Like the more you can hand off and the more can be done by other people and the team, the more will be done, and the more you're going to accomplish. Activity is really what it comes down to in this business, and I think that across the board in most businesses, activity is very, very important, and it's meaningful activity. So handing that off, very, very important. I think that's a big one. And as the agency owner, you have to make those strategic decisions to pump the gas on one, pulling back on others. So having that emotional intelligence to recognize those things for people, because it's a tricky position, so it's not for everybody. And be prepared, because when you're starting to scale and you're really starting to grow your agency, you shift from being just like making sales, making service, making marketing. You're now a coach. You're somebody people lean on. You're somebody that people come to when stuff gets difficult, and when everything goes wrong and everything is completely shit's hitting the fan hard. Everyone looks to you, and you have to have the answer. So be ready for that, because it's not easy, but also don't be afraid, because the only way to really grow and to really get to the next level is to do what I'm saying, is to really start to delegate, to structure your team efficiently, make sure everybody's trained up, make sure everybody's comfortable with it, and having the processes in place, because none of this stuff matters or exists or is possible without having the right processes in place so that people can be successful. So that is all I got. Hopefully that touches on that a little bit and gives you an idea of like what it takes to really kind of structure out your team. Help them take it to the next level and take your agency to the next level. So With that, I will say, if you got any value from this, I would really appreciate if you gave us a like or subscribed and ring the bell. You don't have to, it's all good if you don't, but we would appreciate it. That's what kind of keeps us going to make this content. And like I say, guys, I'm truly trying to just, like, one person out there just hearing this right now hopefully changes their, decision making and their strategy, and will help you on your path to taking it to the next level. And one day, 10 years or 5 years from now, somebody comes back and says, like, hey Chris, thanks for that video, it really helped. That now it saved me hundreds of thousands of dollars or something. I don't know, we'll see. But that's kind of what gets me going on this stuff. So yeah, hopefully that helps. I hope yeah, we'll see you guys at the top. That's all I got. And yeah, if anybody has any questions, comment in the comments below. Feel free to shoot me an email. You can also try calling the agency. I'm available once in a while for like super short, quick calls. If you want to schedule a real call, go on chriscostantini.com. You can schedule a consulting call there, and we could sit there for an hour and really discuss different strategies, mindsets, and things to do for your agency and how I recommend to grow. So that's all I got. We'll see you guys soon. See you at the top. Peace.